Alright, so this one is gonna be about economy and the shortcut winning, so the importance of staying 5 alive. So, I'm gonna get straight into it. I'm gonna talk about the basic Valorant economy stuff a bit later. Now I just wanna talk about the importance of winning as 5 players, okay? So, which is a rather underlooked aspect of competitive Valorant. So, let's start with obviously acknowledging that Valorant is a momentum-based game, okay? It's very easy to win when you have momentum, both economically speaking and mentally speaking. So, economically is very easy, like to explain. Of course, if you have good economy, ult economy, credits economy, you can just buy consistently. Enemy cannot buy if you're winning consistent rounds. Ults are gathering up, enemies' ults are not gathering up. Again, like harder for them to get operator out. Again, like very basic. Why it's easier to win economically when you have good momentum. Now, mentally is also very important. So let's say you're losing consistently rounds after rounds. You're not getting kills. You're losing like without a chance of really doing anything in the round. Then again, like you are starting to get tilt momentum. Okay, so you're getting more and more tilted. And yeah, so it's very easy. So I want to talk about the importance of winning with 5 alive, okay, which is again, like I said, like a very rather underlooked aspect of Valorant, okay? Because oftentimes you want to chase kills, or you want to like chase kills for like ultimate orbs or whatever. Again, like whatever excuse you're coming up with. But staying 5 alive is oftentimes a lot better, and I will explain why. So first of all, credit economy, of course. When you don't have to rebuy, okay, a weapon, then you're starting to build more and more credits, which means you have more and more buys, okay? It's very easy. And of course, enemies not getting plus 200 for each kill you're getting, okay? For each kill he's getting, sorry. And then the second thing is obviously ultimate economy. So again, let's say you are 5v1, okay? Then you 2 people chased and died to him, and the third person got the kill. So your enemy got 3 ult orbs instead of getting 0, okay? How would he get 0? If he would not even chase him, okay? Just sit and hold. If he comes into your crosshair, sure, you can one-tap him and kill him, and then you just got the ult orb, okay? And he got 1 ult orb, but it's fine. Or if he doesn't push you, sure, just let him die, okay? Because saving in Valorant is often not worth it, okay? It's not worth to save in Valorant. The only times where it's maybe worth to save in Valorant is if you bought some, like, I don't know, hero, eco vandal, on attack and you planted a spike and you don't want to try to win the 1v4, okay, so you can just save or whatever. And maybe on defense kind of the same thing, you know, if you have like a 1v4 with Vandal which you bought, so you can kind of save it if the rest of the team is on eco, you know, some shit like this. But again, dying is often better, okay, you shouldn't really save in Valorant in most cases. Now, next up, which is mind the game's economy, which is the most important. So, like I said, winning with 5 alive. So, imagine a situation where you're 1v5 and the enemy is winning 4-0. Let's say your score is like 0-4, okay, you have 0 kills, 4 deaths, and they're not picking you, okay? So it's 5v1, but they're not picking you, okay? You cannot fight anyone because they're not picking you, and yeah, just that's all, like, and you don't have frags, you know? And let's say you're gonna start getting tilted and the whole team is gonna start getting annoyed because, like, why the fuck are they not picking? It's like, it's 1v5, just pick me, let me fight you, you know? Like, you're gonna start getting into your head because you don't have frags, because they're not picking you, you know, they're playing perfect, the enemy. So you can snowball the mental side of things, you know. So pretty much I call it like mind games economy, but it's just mental. So that's that. I want to get to the next thing now, which is habits. Okay, so very important. I know that tier 2 players, like some tier 2 players and some tier 3 players, and I'm assuming a few tier 1 players, they don't open scoreboard before the round starts, or before, like, or in the buy phase itself. So they don't open scoreboard, meaning like they just don't open tab. And if they do open tab, they open tab to check frags, okay, which is irrelevant. They're not changing anything, how much frags you have, just statistics. So what you should do every single time when the round ends, okay, and when the buy phase starts, you just open the scoreboard, okay? And you have to pay attention to the things that are important to pay attention to, which is our credits plus ultimates, enemy credits plus ultimates, and operator possibilities, okay? So, let's say, for example, oftentimes you would see the IGL giving a call, and the player was focused on something else, or maybe on the call itself, but he didn't process that the IGL called eco. And then, like 10 seconds before the round, everybody is on like 2k ecoing, and the player is buying Vandal randomly. And then you have to tell him, like, don't buy Vandal, bro. So, like, these things shouldn't even happen, you know? Each player individually should be responsible to check tab, and then with that you can start to understand, okay, for example, this round the kill tree is 7 out of 8 on defense. So when we're executing, we need to pay attention. If the kill tree is getting a kill, then she will have ult on retake, you know? If you are aware of this, you will be more ready to react in the round itself, whereas if you wouldn't know about that, you would be a bit less, you know? Because you would notice to pay attention back to the kill tree ult when you get to site, for example, you know? So that's that. Same thing with your credits, you know, and your ult economy. For example, if your kill is 6 out of 8, you can build the round plan around taking the orbs, for example, you know. So again, just start paying attention to these small things. And the next up is operator possibilities. It's just pretty basic. Like, do they have operator? Do they not have operator? And that. Now, a very, very important small tip, okay, which I don't think people know really. People don't really think like this, I think. I only saw one person talk about it. But when in question, don't buy in 12-9 and 11-8. So I'll explain what I mean. If you are winning 12-9 or you're winning 11-8, and 10-7 kind of works too, but let's keep it as 12-9 and 11-8 because there are more memorable scores, let's say like that. So if you're in question whether to buy or not, because you have like, I don't know, like 3k, 3.5k, and you're kind of scuffed economy, then you should never buy. And the reason for that is because if you buy 12-9 and then you lose, that means you eco 12-10, and then 12-11 you have last buy round, okay? Whereas if on 12-9 you would just full eco, okay? So you would have around 2.3k, 2.5k, preferably 2.5k. So that means you only buy a sheriff or like sheriff light shield, like not full. Maybe you buy some utility, but you don't go for a full buy until 1900, which is what you typically do. You actually keep it around 2.5k. And that means that when you lose the round, like 12-9, you will have 12-10, and then you could buy 12-10, and you could also buy 12-11. Because you have 2.5k, you will get the credit like bonus, of course, like after you're losing a round, and the next round you would get like the credit bonus plus 500, obviously. So then you would have 2 buys repeatedly. Of course, like the 12-10 round, you can go like light shield if you need to. But anyways, you should still have enough credits to buy the round after that too, okay? So that's something that is small but it's important, because I think that you should, you rather have 2 full proper buy rounds, like 12-10, 12-11, than to kind of try to win it 12-9, in my opinion. So that's something you can try. Yeah, next up is credits. So again, it's kind of basic, so I won't really talk about the full buy. It's just when you buy full, so full utility, full weaponry, like rifles, vandals, phantoms, and full shields. Half/eco. So half, like obviously, like eco usually is meant like that you're not buying shit, but I call like eco and half the same thing because it just means that you're saving for the next round. To me. Next up is force, when you don't have like the best buy, but you think you can still win the round, like either tactically or like you have a specific ult or a specific read. And then last is save. So like I said, it's not really worth it in Valorant. Now, basics is 3000 per round win, 1900, 2400, 2900 is like the loss bonuses, and then you get 1000 per save, and then 300 per plant/diffuse and 200 per kill. Now the 300 per plant/diffuse, like let's keep it to the plant, very, very, very important, okay? You should always try to plant on attack. Doesn't matter if you're chasing a kill, doesn't matter like how you went around, like doesn't matter like what, you should always just try to plant, okay? Start farming the ult, start building momentum like I said. So that's that. Next up is ultimates. So again, going back to what I said about planting, you should always have a designated spike planter, and that designated spike planter should also be the orb taker, okay? So let's take for example Ascent on Kaio, okay? So Ascent Kaio default. So on default on Ascent, you would typically have, like if you're defaulting A main for example, you would typically have Jet, Kaio and Omen playing towards here, Killjoy would play towards B, and then you would have like Sova either playing mid link, or he would play around top middle. Now, you would typically, I'm assuming, like you would recon this, you would smoke this, and then you would go focus on A main, right? So again, the way you should take A main, in my opinion, is Omen should just TP, and then he should jiggle peek, and if there is anything, then Kaio can flash, and Jet can smoke the one way, and then they can just double fight together. Because a lot of teams use knife. You can talk about conditioning with knife, you can talk about whatever the fuck you want with knife. I don't like knifing, I mean. I like to just take it like this, and then you can just walk up 3 people, and then when you get to here, you can just carry a knife sight, and if it's clear, then you kinda won the round, okay? Because from here, you don't need anyone else, you can just execute instantly. You smoke this, you go a bit to the left, and you own flash all of this, and then Jet just dashes sight. And like if the knife doesn't get shit, then the sight is clear. And if it does get contact, then usually it's Omen under heaven, so Jet can smoke dash here, she can like one way here, and then Kaio can flash under heaven, and Jet can go close and kill him. So it's not that complicated. But pretty much my point is that usually the players that you're defaulting with is Kaio, Jet, and Omen, or like Sova is replacing Omen, like on a typical default, right? But we're talking about orbs now. So pretty much the player who should take the orb is Kaio here, and then he should be the planter. Okay, so generally speaking, you can get like 6, 8, 10 rounds, you know, maybe, but like let's say like 6, 8 rounds, you can get 2 orbs in the same round for a person, which would typically be Kaio. because obviously he's gonna plant anyways, if you're playing it correctly. Like, most likely the Sova is gonna stay on main, the Killjoy is either gonna stay on main or she's gonna play on site, and then you have like Omen, Kaio, Jet usually entering. So it's best to have the Kaio plant as default. But again, like I said, of course, if Killjoy is 6 out of 8, then let him plant and take the orb. And of course, for example, if the enemy Killjoy got a 3k on pistol, and you want to play around Sova ult to break Killjoy ult, like the typical counter, like Sova ult to Killjoy ult, then you can let Sova farm instead, so he can build up his ult with the 2 per round, so you can be ready to counter Killjoy ult, if that's how you wish to counter Killjoy ult. So, that's that. Actually, wait, I will stick to here. Like, organizer, you want to play anti-ecos, so both on attack and defense, I usually run the same anti-eco. So on attack, it's usually Killjoy playing around here, like turret, alarm bot, and then she's playing like safe. The reason why there's alarm bot too is because if they peek and break the turret, you still have an info if they're actually pushing with the alarm bot. And then you play Sova, Jet, Kaio top middle, and then Omen is like either here or here. So what you do is Sova is just jiggle peeking, like very, very short jiggle peek, okay? Like not really trying to get info, but only trying to get like this line. And then after this jiggle peek, because the player here will see him anyways, which is what we want. So after this jiggle peek, the Jet is instantly wide swinging hard, and the Kaio is swinging after him, and Sova is obviously swinging as well. So if there's any Jet with Marshall here, like he will get kinda confused by my jiggle peek, and then the Jet will wide swing very, very hard and kill him. If they are splitting B, then my Jet is just gonna smoke short, and she's gonna dash here and kill the Jet. Because if anyone wants to peek here to kill my Jet, then the Sova and Kaio, we will kill this person before. So my Jet has a very favorable 1v1, and after this, like let's say they weren't on middle, then I typically just recon market. And then I will get informed market and pizza. If it's clear, like so if there's people here, then I know they're doing some setup on middle. I can just group A as 4 and just execute. Of course, if they're pushing a main, then we just go and pick off contact and support this Omen. Or I can, like again, if there's like nothing here, then I can just group B and execute or whatever. So typically I prefer to execute together versus eco. So that's on attack. On defense, I like having, first of all, I like to think about what the enemy is gonna do. Most likely he's not gonna go middle. Like, typically you don't really go middle. On ecos, you typically go A main and B main because you want to farm orbs. So what I usually do on anti-ecos is I place alarm bot here towards here and have my Killjoy play towards short with a molly. And then Jet and Omen can play main with one way. And they're just fully focusing the A main to deny orb. And then, of course, if enemy is rushing A, then they can just go here. Killjoy can just come and just molly this, and then they're chilling. But typically you just go to the left, you break the knife, you fight, whatever. And then you play Sov and Kaio on B. So Kaio can start here, he can do the smolly through the roof, and then he can knife after, to have information if anyone is playing close or trying to rush B, he's cancelling. And then after this, Kaio can just go stairs and hold flash, and Sova can play very, very close here, with recon in hand. And then once you hear them in main, or once they tap orb, or once you just have a feeling, then Sova is just gonna recon at the same time as Kaio is gonna flash, and he's gonna swing. So if anyone is playing on this side, obviously he's flashed and Sova will kill him. And typically the anti-flash guy should get flashed as well, like if the flash is correct. But if not, then anyways the recon is gonna spot him, or he's gonna break the recon, so that gives Sova like another half a second to get the kill and dip, you know? And then after this Sova can drone and you're chilling. So this is how I play anti-eco. And yeah, let's continue. So, yeah, so Navi buy is very basic, like Navi buy and FPX buy, everybody kind of knows about this. So after you win pistol, typically, is you buy 3 proper rifles, like Vandals, and the 2 players stay with like 2.5k. And pretty much 2 players are allowed to die, and then you can still keep 3 guns, like the players with the ghosts can go and pick up the Vandals. And then the next round after that, you can buy full. So like on the bonus round, you can buy full, and you will still have like 2.2k, or like 2k, 1.8k, which you can use to buy the round after that. So pretty much you have like another full buy. But again, think back to what I said about staying 5 alive. So it's not always worth it. Like running FPX buy is great, but it's not always worth it to push. So that's that. Lastly, is you should prioritize utility over weapons on full buy. So I'll explain what I mean. So let's say for example you're the Jet or the Kaio and you have like 3.4k and you're considering like buying like Vandal Light Shield without utility. So I don't think it's worth it. I think it's best that you buy Spectre, full shield, full utility, and then you drop this Spectre to like a Sova for example, which is anyways going to be taking the fight late, okay? So the first point of contact is Jet or Kaio, so they should have the best guns and the best utility, okay? So you shouldn't really be buying like Light Shield, Vandal without anything else, okay? Just have like a Spectre, for example, which you swap with the Sova, and then he can go and pick up a normal rifle after you already finished the fight. And either the players on our team are dead, so you can pick up, or the enemy players are dead, so you can pick up again. So very important. And as well, if you're a jet player, you should start like, let's say, using your Sova, especially like the IGL, like try to take guns from him on equals, for example. You know, if he has like a hero gun, you should always have it as the jet. Okay, just ask for it. You're the jet, you kind of have that permission. That's kind of all, to be honest, for this video. These are the main things I wanted to focus on. So next video is gonna be about freeze positions and awareness. I'll talk about that then. And if you're interested in coaching, then DM me, and see ya. Peace.